Hey there, and welcome to No Pants Profits. My name is Richard, and I've got a new IPO for you today. Now, as of today, which is Friday, December 10th, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. As of today, this is not listed on Robinhood, Webull, or SoFi, available for IPO ordering. But I do want to go over this company. It has an awesome ticker. Again, this is Richard from No Pants Profits, where we focus on new and emerging companies and maybe some forgotten companies in the market as well. Still sitting here with no pants and hopefully making profits. And the company we're going to look at today is Samsara. And you might say, huh? Samsara? What the heck is that? Well, I said the same thing, and all I know is their symbol. And guessing by their symbol what they do, I can take a pretty good guess what they do by their symbol. No, it's not like cheeseburger or anything like that. Samsara's symbol is IoT. IoT, what does that stand for? That stands for the Internet of Things, is what IoT actually stands for there. So the Internet of Things is what IoT stands for, and Samsara seems to be in the Internet of Things. So what we're going to do, we're going to do what we normally do. We're going to take a look at their website. We're going to take a look at some articles. We're going to take a look at their S1 document. I'm actually going to show you how to pull up the S1 document on any company today. Again, as of right now, it's not available for IPO on any consumer trading apps. You may be able to get it from a larger TD Ameritrade or Wells Fargo or any of those larger companies. We'll see who's running the books. If you see who's running the books once we get to the S1, we should be able to see what's going on. But let's jump to their website and let's see what's going on. Again, their symbol is IoT, Internet of Things, IoT. Digitally transforming the world of physical operations. This seems very much like Berkshire Grey, which I'll post some Berkshire Grey up above because that's what it seems like. We're not going to check your prices quite yet, but they digitally transforming the world of physical operations. An integrated platform to increase safety, efficiency, and sustainability. AI safety programs. Ooh, buzzwords! Yay! I love buzzwords. Workflows and reporting. Ecosystem. I did have a little overview video on what they do. But let's just take a look. We're going to look at their site, and then we'll take a look. They have platform operations, apps and driver workflows, equipment monitoring, site visibility. So it seems to be kind of a tracking vehicles. I don't know how it got IoT, which is Internet of Things, which is great, but I don't know if they're... So by industry, transportation and logistics, food and beverage, construction, government, K-12 transportation. So school buses, higher education, passenger transit, field service fleets, utilities, oil and gas, water and wastewater. Customers, we can see their customers. Let's look at some customer stories and see if there's any. Let's see how long this is. This isn't that long.
My favorite thing about Samsara is really the people, the commitment that the company has to their product.
I have never had a vendor ask so many questions, what we think, what we would like to see.
They do treat us more like a partner. It's very clear that Samsara is really concerned about our feedback.
That's one of the things that I absolutely love about it. It makes you feel valued as a customer.
It's good to prevent.
It's really good support. Anytime there's been an issue, my team has been able to call, get almost instant results.
Very responsive. I mean, a lot of times just within minutes. And it's obvious that everyone we talk to really understands the product.
It's not trial and error. It's not someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. They're getting someone who actually understands the product and solves the problem.
We don't get bounced from person to person. Normally the first person I talk to or my team talks to, they get the answer right away, and that's been very refreshing.
Samsara definitely has tried to put a very personal touch onto their product between the salesperson.
Okay, well, we're not going to watch that whole thing, but essentially it looks like they pride themselves. Again, this is a sales thing, so hey, back off. I'm just showing you what they're saying. They pride themselves on the customer service. Actually, what was that, beer? I like beer. Let's take a look at what goes on with beer. This seems to be coming from the Samsara YouTube channel, which has 5.39 thousand subscribers, so more than some of these other IPOs we've looked at recently, other than the Nubank. But let's take a look at this. Let's see what they do.
Fort Point is an independent brewery based out of San Francisco, California. What started as a small brew pub north of the city has now quickly become one of the fastest growing craft breweries in the country. Traditionally, when a brewery reaches a certain size, they decide to outsource their distribution. We chose to keep it in-house. As the driving staff grew and grew very quickly, we realized that we really didn't know how our fleet was doing from a health standpoint, from a maintenance standpoint, and then also the performance of our drivers. Samsara provided real-time GPS for our drivers and our fleet. It provided the metrics by which to understand our driving efficiencies and the performance while on the road. We want every single one of our drivers to feel like they have a support team that's always there, making sure that their trucks can stay on the road and address problems as they come up real time. Samsara's dash cams really give us peace of mind that our fleet and our drivers are staying as safe as they possibly can be on the road. Temperature stability for beer is very important. We can really rely on Samsara's temperature monitors to make sure the beer that we package at our brewery is being delivered at the freshest state that it possibly can be. As we grow, Samsara allows us to maintain the standards that we set in our home market in other areas. Having these direct connections to the production facility, to the sales team, all of that kind of comes together to create this really amazing ecosystem that does create a Fort-Point distribution model.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to go get a beer right now, based on that. But I think that should give us that gives us a little bit more of an idea of what the company's doing there. Let's just check back once more. We're looking at solutions, customers. We're gonna read all about this when we look at the actual S1 company. There's something I like to always look at. Oh, look, this is the first one let's open a couple tabs up. Let's look at about. There's 3 I want to look at. Careers. 4 actually. Diversity and investor resources. So, driving information through smarter operations. So, let's just see what we do. Quick facts, our history. Quick facts. Thousands of customers rely on Samsara. 2+ trillion data points collected annually. 1 million total 1 million plus total IoT devices deployed globally. Now, that just stands for Internet of Things. I don't know if that means their Internet of Things. 250 plus new features. See some of our customers. I'll tell you, the customers are not looking like UPS and FedEx and those other big ones like that. That's they're big. This San Jose Water, the city of Boston, but nothing really huge. They're setting IoT standards. Meet our leadership. Let's just see if it shows where these people worked before. It does not show where these people worked before. I do kind of like to see where they're poaching people from. But let's take a look at the jobs, because I guarantee you, once we get to the S1, they're going to say, we're not, I haven't looked at it yet, we're not making money because we've got to hire people and we're losing money left, right, and center hiring people. I can call it right now. Samsara, we solve real world problems. 900. So they've made $930 million in private equity funding, and they're going to go public. So keep that number in your head. So $930 million is already in the piggy. We're going to see when we open the S1 how much more they want in the piggy. Diversity and inclusion report. I want to see. Okay, so they're in Atlanta, San Francisco, and London. Workplace flexibility. Again, we're not really looking to join the company, but we want to see what they're hiring. So they are hiring for 330 jobs. Again, we like to look at this. Why I like to look at this is because it really puts some color when you look in the S1. So I strangely, before I invest in a new company, before I invest in a lot of companies, smaller companies, not like Apple, Google, Amazon, stuff like that, but smaller companies, I will look at what they're hiring for. It'll give you a little idea on what's going on in the future. So let's take a look at what we've got. Let's look at the big ones. Customer success. Now, customer success is selling and maintaining the relationship that you have with companies. That's what customer success is. That's what customer education is. It's a sales job. Marketing, technically a sales job. There are certain positions at these companies that make the company money, and there are certain positions that cost the company money. They want to get by with as few engineers and hardware engineering and everything as humanly possible, and as many marketing people, as many sales people, as many of those as possible. You see product design, product. Look, I mean, maybe their product's great and they don't need any more product people and they've already hired all their product people. But look at this. We're hiring 10 people for recruiting. We're hiring 78 people for sales, 78 people, or no, it's not 50 people for sales engineering, which my feeling is sales engineering is not what we think it is. Yep. It does require a computer science degree. So maybe that one is. Normal sales, does that require a computer science degree? No, just a bachelor's degree. So you don't need a computer science degree for that. And even if you go to support, you have data analytics engineer, and a lot of them are remote. So frontline technical support, support engineering, technical account manager. So you got a lot of remote roles. You've got a lot of interesting ones, but they are hiring for 330 jobs, and they've got a whole page on diversity, as businesses in these days do. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a straight, fat, white male. I really shouldn't comment on diversity. But they have all these reports. They're saying gender parity at the people manager level is 1-to-1. So for every male that manages people, there's a female that manages people. 40% are underrepresented groups on the core team, director and above. 20 to 30% increase in women in engineering. 100% score on corporate leadership, LGBTQA. Again, doesn't really matter to what we're looking at right now. The main thing we want to know is, do they make money? But I do like to see, what they're hiring, and this is their investor relations page. So their latest presentation, latest events. This always thoroughly concerns me when I see these things. There should be something. There should be a roadshow. There should be something talking about your IPO. Your IPO is in less than a week. So their IPO is going to be on December 15th. It's going to price on the 14th. So it's going to price on the 14th, 2021. Price on the 14th, December 14th, 2021, and it's going to go live on the 15th. Come on. This is an investor page. It doesn't even say that your damn symbol is IoT. I'm sorry. Say coming soon, IoT. I see nothing here. So that is concerning to me. And I think what's even more interesting is, the filing for registration. Okay, let's just take a look at this. So they filed for the registration. We can see who's running their books. We're going to get there in a minute. Okay, the symbol IoT. Okay, cool. So a lot of people go, okay, how do you find these S1 forms for these companies that don't have a magic button inside Robinhood or inside Webull or inside SoFi? To find in SoFi, you actually have to look at the S1 before you buy the IPO. How do you find these S1 forms? A lot of people ask. So I actually just I put into Google SEC Edgar, and Edgar is the search engine for the Securities and Exchange Commission. So if I just put in SEC Edgar, you'll get that, and I can type in any company, and I can get quarterly reports, I can get IPO, I can get whatever I want from any company. I mean, if I AAPL, just for giggles. These are all of Apple's latest documents and filings. Lots of stuff. Annual report, prospectus, all these different things like that. But we don't want to look at Apple today. But the SEC has a whole database, IoT. Samsara Incorporated. Not as much here, but let's see. So they did an amendment a couple days ago. Yeah, they did an amendment on the 6th. So this should be our S1. Looks like a boring document, but to these companies, this is life, and I don't think it's a boring document. I love this document. I have some breakdowns of the S1 we're going to take a look at after we go over the S1 itself, but let's go over the S1. Let's talk what's going on there. I don't like to really get influenced by the breakdowns. I've opened up some breakdowns of the S1, some breakdowns of the company, but I like to export myself first. Hey, look, they're registered in Delaware. If you've ever been around for this before, that's normal, and they're registered in Delaware because California taxes companies to death. And that's why California's gone. That's why Elon Musk went to Texas. Sorry, that's the truth. That's how the world works. But, address including zip code, telephone number. Okay, we've got that. Chief Executive Officer. California. Okay. So it's a California company with a Delaware registration. They are looking to raise essentially another $925 million. If you remember, they were at $920, I think, me see if I can find that one more time. We go company. We go about. I think it's 920 million. What they had already raised. Where was it? Join our team. I saw it somewhere here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 920 million that they've already gone ahead and they have gotten there. So they're just kind of re-upping what they've already gotten in. So they want to pretty much double the cash raise that goes into the company, and they're going to be valued between. So the maximum share price will be $23. So it'll probably be about 21 or 20 to $23. Samsara Class A common stock, they're going to issue 35 million shares at up to $23 a piece. Do we see who the book runners are? We're not at that page yet. Okay. That's the little abstract. Okay, here's the book runners. These are the companies that are selling the stock in the IPO. They're getting it in everybody's pocket, the IPO, and they're coming up with the price. So a lot of people were watching a Nubank stream I did this week, last week, depending when you're watching this. It probably won't go up until the week of the 10, 11, 12, the 12th or the 13th, the week of that, and this one goes live on the 15th, the IPO for Samsara. But Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Allen and Company, RBC, Wells Fargo, a lot of big boys are involved here, and these big boys right here that are involved here are trying to set the initial price, that $20 to $23 range. That's what the big boys are doing there, because you don't want to leave any money on the table, because the company doesn't make any more money once they sell the shares. It's just people bidding it up on their own. So if it runs up after it comes out, the company doesn't make any more money. Okay, here we go. Samsara, the Connected Operations Cloud. Again, this is their S1 document that they file with the SEC, and it's available to all investors to increase the safety, efficiency, and sustainability of operations that power the global economy. It's going to be a pretty S1. Launch. Okay, here we go. This is their timeline. So where did they start? They founded in 2016 in San Francisco, launched vehicle telematics application. So that is an IoT service, Internet of Things, basically an internet-connected device that's probably connected via cellular. You put a SIM card in there, it has a digital SIM, and it would it would tell you where the vehicle is. Essentially, it would tell you where the vehicle is, and it's used for what's called fleet management. So if you have a fleet of trucks, you would manage that fleet of trucks in that way. So they launched a vehicle telematics application. Fiscal year 2018, they launched a video-based safety application, driver workflow and compliance, launched equipment monitoring application. 2019, opened the first international office in London. 2020, launched an app marketplace, pretty much where third parties can go, my assumption. Opened an office in Mexico, and launched a site visibility application, which we'll hopefully see what all of those are. Fortune 100 food processor, so they're not giving the name. Could be Tyson, could be anyone like that. What they're trying to say is that, you know, they were with a big food processor, and that food processor did this level of results. So improved safety, 50% reduction in driver accidents using Samsara video-based coaching and alerts. Cool. I guess they watch you on camera. Major communications infrastructure provider. Again, that's probably Comcast. Xfinity, whatever you want to call it. They're not going to label it. Improved efficiency. 76% increase in dispatch productivity over 1 year, improving service and their bottom line. Large U.S. transport company. Can't even tell you what that is. That's probably a truck driving company. Fuel savings. So they do fuel savings, they do dispatch, and they do, they keep you with coaching and alerts when you're driving. Connected Operations Cloud. Again, they got video-based safety, vehicle terminals, some actual computers that sit in your vehicle, might do GPS, might do other things like that. App and driver workflows, equipment monitoring, site visibility, and their data platform does AI, workflow analysis, alerts, developer APIs, and different things like that. So IoT data, remember the symbol is IoT. That's a great symbol. Honestly, it's going to pop on that symbol alone. Sounds stupid, but IoT is Internet of Things. They're getting IoT before other people that do IoT are. I'm excited for the symbol. They do, like I said, maintenance, utilization, safety, compliance, workflow, and location. This seems like a bureaucrat's wet dream. Company highlights, $493 million. Oh crap. Now hold on. there was a margin. I got excited when I saw that margin. I was like, oh crap, they're making money. The company highlights 493 million in QRARR. ARR stands for annual recurring revenue, meaning what comes in every year. So this is a company that's a subscription service, and they have an annual recurring revenue, and that is a growth of 68% year over year. 72% gross margin. So they have a 72% profit, essentially, on the services they sell, but they still lose money. And you'll see. It's because they're doing so much hiring. Again, that's why we look at the careers page before we open any of these S1 documents up. Because you're going to say, why does Richard look at the careers page? Well, Richard looks at the careers page because hiring is always where these companies die. CAC, customer acquisition cost. So they've lowered their customer acquisition cost ratio, and they have 13,000 core customers, 700 customers, 700 plus customers, so 701. They would put a higher number if they could. They can't lie on these S1 forms, but they can make things visibly interesting. So 701, 702, well, that's 700. Welcome to the world we live in. With an ARR of $100,000 or more. So they have $100,000 or more times 700. I'm sorry, I don't work well with zeros. So that's $70 million just from those 700 core customers. Plus they've got another 13,000 on top. And the growth in that segment was 83% year over year. 89% of customers with an ARR over $100,000. So 89% of those people that are paying in, a total of 70 million out of their 493 million. So, a very small percent actually are putting a lot of their revenue up there. They subscribe to multiple applications. Their TAM, or total addressable market, is 55 billion, and the 21 to 2024 overall CAGR. I want to see what that is. CAGR. I'm not familiar with what that means. CAGRACRONYM. Compound annual growth rate. Sorry, my mistake. It's 12:30 in the morning. So their compound annual growth rate of 21%. So they're going to grow 21% per year, I would assume, because it's annual between 2021 and 2024. Revenue. Ooh, we making some money. Well, we making some revenue. We don't make some profits. I got a feeling inside my soul. It tells me this company don't make no money. Got no money in our pocket. Hiring on. We're going crazy. I'm making up songs right now about S1s. But I got a feeling deep in my soul, this company is going to show us a great revenue chart, and they're going to say, we don't make money because we're hiring too many people. Look at that revenue chart. That's like, holy crap, holy fajitas. Look at that revenue chart. That is a beautiful revenue chart. Yeah. Okay. Letters from our founders. Most of us have experienced this as a feeling, but when you take a step back and we live in a time of transformation, sorry. Most of us experience this as a feeling, but when you take a step back and compare our lives to our great-grandparents, it becomes clear. Beginning of the 20th century, most people's lives were centered around with where they grew up. Now, thanks to the global economy and technology, we have access to inexpensive products from around the world, like China. Food and energy and medicine. These things are still far from perfect. It's incredible to see how fast things have changed. These guys met as graduate students at MIT. In 20 years of major technological change, they've been working together as co-founders and builders. We're driven by a desire to make an impact at scale. Wait. Meraki. So that was their first company. I think I'm familiar with that company. Oh. Really? Whoa. Okay. Maybe we should put in their names. So their first company was Meraki. Was founded to take our research large white. Oh, well, it is the Meraki, I thought. Well. So Cisco began buying Meraki, and Meraki I've used before. I've worked in the IT field, and I've used Meraki before. I was making sure it was the same thing. Yeah, so that's how organizations do BYOD, or bring your own device. That's what these guys made before. Is bring your own device software. so you could register your own cell phone on Wi-Fi in the corporate networks. Kind of cool. Samsara, we bring the latest technology and innovation to the world of physical operations. It's logistics. I don't want to play that UPS commercial again, but this is a logistics company, which just so happens to be in the IoT space. But the founders of this actually did Cisco Markey, which Cisco bought. It's a hybrid workforce, full-time solution. It's basically designed for remote work. They're probably making bank on those Cisco shares. Cisco actually, just to date things, it's kind of funny. Cisco actually released earnings today. I knew I connected my phone for a reason. Let's just look at Cisco. C-I-S-C-O. Look at that. Well, it was doing well. I think it changed a little bit after. Let's just take a look. Cisco did release earnings today. It went kind of a little crazy there in the after hours. Maybe it wasn't Cisco. Oh, it was Oracle. Sorry, I got that confused. It was Oracle that released the earnings today. Samsara started just six years ago in 2015 to bring new types of innovations to physical operations. There were thousands of customers around the world. Culture, customer-focused innovation, focus on customer success. Customer success means you're going to keep buying with us. That's all customer success means. ARR, average recurring revenue. Let me translate the business speak to real-world talk. Customer success means average recurring revenue. They're building for the long term. We want our customers to be with us for a while. Be inclusive. Bring their whole authentic selves to work. No. Win as a team, win together. Trust me, their salespeople ain't winning as a team. They're getting those commissions and they're taking them themselves. Sorry, guys. Too bad. Don't lie to me. Perspective summary. Again, to realize Samsara is on a mission to increase safety, efficiency, and sustainability of the operations that power the global economy. That's logistics. To realize this, we partnered with we've pioneered the Connected Operations Cloud, which allows businesses that depend on physical operations to harness Internet of Things data to develop achievable actions and business insights and improve their operations. Look, at the end of the day, if you don't read the rest of this document, and you just look right here, you're going to go, holy crapola, I want to get in on this company, because that looks good. That looks juicy. You see, they didn't even lose out on during the illness, and I do realize that this last one, fiscal year 2022, is a prediction, but it still does look juicy, but I'm sure they've done a lot of hiring to make that work, and that's where we're going to get in here. Again, we'll read through their business industries like transportation, wholesale, retail, construction, field services, logistics, utilities, energy, government, a lot of different things. Industries represented with 40. These industries, again, this is a lot of marketing talk. You know all those marketing people they're hiring? They probably have all their marketing people writing this crap now. 40% of gross domestic product in 2020, yet historically these industries have been underserved by technology, leaving them reliant on manual processes and writing stuff down with paper. They're writing things down with paper. They want to provide an end-to-end solutions for operations using the Internet of Things. That's their whole goal. That's their whole goal. And they're saying that these things, unlike advertising, media, and IT, which have already undergone digital transformations, industries like physical operations are still in the very early stages of adoption. Historically, connecting assets to the Internet have been limited by the physical nature of these industries. They can capture, aggregate, and analyze IoT data, so it is an AI company because they're not only taking the data, they're telling you what the hell that data means. Examples of how our customers benefit. A large freight carrier, maybe UPS, something like that, achieve 50% reduction in idling, representing a savings of 150,000 gallons of fuel and over $500,000 annually by coaching drivers using Samsara's idle and fuel usage reporting. Large city government reduced downtime by 28% using engine fault code alerts. So they know with the OBS, the little thing you plug in the car, not the streaming software I'm using right there, but they know when an engine's going to fail. Waste Transportation Company had a 58% drop in spending while simultaneously decreasing their rate of driver turnover. These safety improvements translated to $500,000 in reduced insurance premiums. A crane rigging and transport company used it to access their 2,000 equipment assets and monitor real-time diagnostics keeping. So it is a real-time, it is an Internet of Things way to track dumb things, you know. At the end of the day, it kind of reminds me of like these guys. Let me pull this guy out. Kind of reminds me of, okay, you got a key ring, and what do I have on here? I got an air tag on here. So I've made something that's dumb, this key ring that I lose all the time, I've made it smart. You know, that's what they're doing, but they're doing it from a corporate level. They're making dumb things smart. Rise in connected operations. So it's saying in challenges physical operations, lack of data access and siloed systems, breadth and diversity data. Yeah. Okay, diversity of data, not diversity data. Reliance on legacy tools. In-house innovation. These trucking companies are not building new tech. They're using paper. Maybe Excel sheets. Proliferation of connected physical assets. Advances in cloud-based big data. Faster, cheaper wireless capabilities, because now you got cellular everywhere, so you can link things up for pennies on the dollar. And even you've got, I mean, even when you talk about these, even my AirPods have an AirTag in them, so I always know where my AirPods are. I've got, you know, you want to talk about making things smart. I got my wallet. I got an AirTag in it. I kind of track everything. I don't really know where my keys are, but if I wanted to find them, I could find them. So, you know, that's what it's doing. The proliferation of smartphones and tablets enables workers to access, analyze, act on operations data, including data from IoT devices in the field, such as when servicing equipment or responding to an alert. Furthermore, they can more easily capture and upload data, including photos, videos, digital documents, into the cloud, transforming manual processes into digital data-driven workflows. We've already seen that screenshot. Key applications: video-based safety, which is just, it enables customers to protect their teams with AI-enabled video, detecting high-risk behaviors, like if Amazon was a client peeing in a bottle, and incidents in real time, preserving video records to exonerate drivers or dispute oh crap, we gonna watch all your truck drivers, and if they pee in the bottle or they're playing on their cell phone, your insurance company don't gotta pay out, and it's up to them. That's what this company does. Like I said, the original name of this channel before No Pants Profits was Profits Before People. Profits over people. Profits always come first, so companies love this. Video telematics provides robust real-time telematics solution with GPS tracking, routing, dispatch, fuel efficiency, management, electric vehicle usage. Oh, that's pretty cool. They're kind of getting ahead of stuff. And charge planning, preventative maintenance, diagnostic capabilities to efficiently manage vehicle fleets in a sustainable way. Equipment monitoring, site visibility, benefits of our solution. You see how they're putting all this in the front? We're gonna see how much money they lost in a minute. I know this. I've looked at enough of these documents. I leave these documents till I'm blue in the damn face. What's this support? IoT data leader. We believe that our data on connected cloud operations is the best. Nothing near me. You know, they have a single platform that everything's on. Extensible technology platform. Purpose built for physical operations. Ease of use and adoption. Innovative flywheel. Oh, they're saying, oh, our stuff's already moving, so we can innovate on what's already moving there. Partner ecosystem. They've got an API, meaning the third parties can come in. You know, the truck companies can build these software in ourselves. Our teams and culture. Focus on customer success. You know what that means? Focus on ARR. Let's translate that. Focus on getting that revenue year after year. Build for the long term. Focus on getting that revenue year after year. Adopt a growth mindset. Focus on getting that revenue year over year. Be inclusive. Focus on getting that revenue year after year while not having a protest or being Chick-fil-A. Win as a team. Focus on tricking people into thinking they all win as a team while still being commissioned with the top salesperson. Sorry. That's the truth. Our mission and culture are competitive advantage for attracting and retaining top talent. LinkedIn top startups, number 4 in 2020. Financial Times, America's fastest growing companies, number 2 in 2021. Okay, cool. Market opportunity. Okay, here we go. Let's see. No, we're not looking. We're growth strategies. So I'm doing a SWOT. I don't know if anybody's familiar. I haven't seen one of these breakdown SWOT analysis. Let's just take a look, because that's what we're about to look at. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So strengths, characteristics of a business which give it advantages over competitors. Weaknesses, characteristics of a business which make it disadvantaged relative to competitors. Opportunities, elements in a company's external environment that allow it to formulate and implement strategies to increase profitability. And threats, elements of the external environment that could endanger the integrity and profitability of the business. So, growth strategies or strengths. Expand their customer base by acquiring new customers. No shit, Sherlock. Sorry. Expand within our existing customer base. Yup. Continue customer-centric innovation to get people to add on products to their existing bundle. Expand their partnerships and integrations. That's what their API is for, application programming interface. Lets other companies kind of go on. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is where it starts to get good. This is where the stuff I've been predicting the whole time, this is where it's going to all come out of the little box from Pandora. Expand internationally. They got a Mexico and a London office. Let's see. We established our first international office in London. Now, respectively, generated, 7.8% and 10.2% from markets outside of the United States. So we believe there's significant opportunity. Risk factors. We have a history of losses and may not be able to make money. Our rapid growth makes it difficult to evaluate our future prospects and increases the risk we will not continue to grow at near historical rates. Let's blame COVID. New use cases. We rely heavily on direct sales to sell subscriptions to access our cloud, our connected operations cloud. Remember all the sales jobs we looked at? Yep. If we can't get new customers, we screwed. We can't get our existing customers, we screwed. We have a limited number of manufacturers that are making our tools for the connected operations. We not be able to execute our strategic initiatives. We're not able to develop new applications. Other people could step in front of us. We can't effectively manage our growth. We experience a security breach. Okay. Let's see. Emerging growth company. All right. So they're going to be issuing 35 million shares. And you've got common stock, you've got total stock. So they have a lot of shares already issued to the people that have already been involved in the company. Net proceeds from the sale of the common stock will be approximately 712 million, or approximately 819 million if the underwriters purchase additional shares. So we gave that number around 900 million. Assumed initial offering price of $21.50 per share. So they're in the $19 to $23 range, which is the midpoint there. Okay, here we go. The principal purpose of this offering, why the hell we're raising money, are to increase our capitalization and financial flexibility, create a public market for our Class A common stock, and enable access to public equity markets for us and our stockholders. We intend to use the net proceeds from this offering for general corporate purposes, including working capital, operating expenses, capital expenditures. Additionally, we may use a portion of the net proceeds to acquire and invest in complementary businesses, products, services, or technologies. However, we do not have agreements or commitments for any material acquisitions or investments at this time. We intend to use a portion of the net proceeds to satisfy tax withholding and remittance obligations of $124 million. With the settlement that's going on, I'm pretty sure they're okay. So voting shares, 1 vote per share. And Class V have 10 vote per share. And yeah, so that's why they want to stay in control. The guys don't want to get thrown out of their own company. Smart people. That's very similar to what Facebook did. That's how Zuckerberg can never get thrown out of Facebook. No matter how much people want Zuckerberg gone, they can't get rid of Zuckerberg. And I would say their plan is not to have dividends. There's nothing really weird there. We're just gonna see a lot of losses here. Yeah. Losses. They're making money, but they're hiring too much. Okay, here we go. We don't need that chart. Here we go. We've incurred losses in all years since our incorporation. We expect we will continue to incur net losses for the foreseeable future. We incurred net losses of 225 million and 210 million respectively. Oh God, yeah. There's a lot of losses, but you know what's interesting? The losses are going down. So they do have a deficit. Our operating expenses will increase substantially in the foreseeable future as we continue to enhance our connected operations cloud, broaden our customer base, expand our sales and marketing activities. Who called that out with the jobs? I've never looked at this form before. Who called that out? Including expanding our sales team and customer support team, expand our operations, hire additional employees, and continue to develop our technology, which is hiring additional employees. Expected cost of capital to grow our business, additional legal and consulting expenses. We have granted restricted stock units to our employees and certain non-employees. So they have a stock option plan. So that's what the RSU is, and it's just performance based. So if the company does well, these restricted stock units go. Our rapid growth makes it difficult to evaluate our future prospects and increases the risk that we will not grow near historical rates. We've been growing rapidly over the last few years with a revenue of 120 million and 250 million for fiscal years 2020 and 2021. Functionally dated, kind of weird, just because we're not at the end of the year yet. And for 9 months, wow, yeah, they're making money. You know, many factors may contribute to declines in our revenue growth rate. It hasn't declined yet, including increased competition, slowing demand from our solution. Even if our revenue continues to increase over the long term, we expect that revenue growth rate will decline in the future as a result from a variety of factors, including maturation of our business we have encountered in the past and encountered in the future, risk and uncertainties frequently experienced by growing companies and rapidly changing industries. If our assumptions regarding these risks and uncertainties, which we used to plan it, are incorrect or change, we don't address. Okay, so they're going to blame COVID, like everybody blames COVID. Risk associated with the growth of their business. In the new use cases, historically, most of our revenue has been derived from a sale relating to applications with customer fleets. They're a fleet manager. A fleet manager manages a fleet of vehicles, trucks, cars, boats, planes, electric. So they are planning for the future. That's important. They are planning for the future. We plan to expand our use cases of our solution, including those where we may have limited operating experience and should be subject to increased business. We rely heavily on a direct sales to sell subscriptions. Important. We're unable to attract new customers. Future revenue may be harmed. Unable to retain our relationships with existing customers. ARR, average recurring revenue. Important. We may not be able to successfully execute our strategic initiatives and meet our long-term financial goals. Okay, here we go. This is actually kind of interesting. Make it a little bigger. A significant part of our business strategy is to focus on long-term growth over short-term financial results. For example, the fiscal year ended January 30th, 2021, we increased our operating expenses to $384 million compared to $300 million for the fiscal year before. For these 9 months, we increased our operating expenses. Okay, well, no, we got that. We expect to continue making significant expenditures on sales, hiring, and marketing efforts, and expenditures to develop new features, integrations, capabilities, enhancements to our solution, further use cases in our applications. We've been engaged in strategic initiatives to expand the scope of our core business and improve long-term stockholder value. If they can't make new applications, they're going to die. If they fail to manage our growth, they're going to die. If we experience a security breach, well, that's the way the world works. Abuse or misuse of internal platform. Perfect example, Uber used to have something called a God mode, where you could actually look in where anybody was on Uber at any time, and that got out big. And let me see. This is what they're talking about. I think it was Uber. Uber God mode. God view. There we go. So this is what they're talking about, because this is fleet management. Uber stalked users for partygoers viewing pleasure. When Uber launched its black car and ride-sharing service in a new large city and marks the occasion with a lavish launch party, the customers invites local tech glitterati for craft cocktails, canapes, and a presentation. One of the Uber party tricks is to treat attendants to Uber's God view, which lets them see all of the Uber vehicles and silhouettes. Oh God. And the silhouettes of waiting Uber users to have flagged cars. When it's anonymous, it's a cool trick, but guess what? Treat a guest to a creepy stalker view, showing the whereabouts and movements of 30 Uber users in New York in real time. Oh, wow. She recognized half the people listed and texted one of them, revealing that she knows his current whereabouts. This is the kind of stuff they're talking about. Uber God view, misuse or abuse of an internal platform. Certain estimates of marketing opportunities, business disruptions, fail to adapt, competition, someone comes in, connected operation. I just read that CO. There's got to be one more K at the end, another thing with a K. If we don't develop IoT devices that are compatible with third-party hardware, software, and infrastructure, including many evolving industry standards, our ability to introduce and sell new subscriptions could suffer. Changes in the subscription pricing model could affect our business. Large customers, our quarterly results for operations business may fluctuate due to our ability to attract new customers, especially the large ones, those 700 plus that are spending more than $100,000 a year. Our ability to retain and expand our existing customers, ARR, average recurring revenue. Our ability to gain new channel partners. network outages, COVID-19 again. Okay. Yeah, I think we've covered most of this. I'll tell you, what I like here is I am very familiar with Mercari, and it does work very well. Essentially, it was designed, again, it's not really relevant to this, but it's telling you the bones and the DNA that's behind this. That's the last company these guys founded. This company, MER Meraki, was bought by Cisco, but it was designed for BYOD and work from home. So very smart that Cisco bought it when they did, back probably in 2015 or 2016, because then the illness came, and that's what happened. Let's see. We typically provide SLCs or SLAs. So yeah. So again, I like the name of the the symbol of the company. Really doesn't match with what they do, but it does match with what they do. Samsara, IoT, Internet of Things. Great. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay. Acquisitions and strategic investments. Okay, cool. Current operations internationally. Again, they're just talking about that they can't grow internationally. Risk related to their IP. Failure to protect their property and intellectual property rights could harm our business. Perfect example. I just got I just finished filing a trademark for No Pants Profits because I wanted to have that intellectual property. So, No Pants Profits, good luck copying me now. Trademark is filed. Good luck. In addition, despite our precautions, someone could make it, especially another company. There's no insurance that our patents can be valid. Open source software. Risk-related government regulation. I think we're about where we need to go. Revenues generated by sales to government entities. Actually, let's see how much there is. Sales to government entities are subject to a number of risk. They don't say how much, but they could lose those contracts. And they probably do lose those contracts. So government funding gets cut all the time. We think we saw Boston and another city on there. Risk related to finance, accounting, and tax matters. Again, this kind of gets a little boring. All right, I'm just making sure there's nothing else there. This is all. It's going to be in the comments below, so you can definitely look at this entire form if you want to, but we've already spent about 25 minutes looking at this form, and I don't see anything else that's going on there. Let's take a look IPO update on Samsara, and then we're going to look at the TechCrunch, which looks at startups, and this was a startup until very recently. I mean, it's technically still a startup until Wednesday the 15th. Samsara readies a $753 million IPO. They provide fleet monitoring and management software. IoT has grown rapidly, and although the IPO isn't cheap, it is worth consideration. This is from Seeking Alpha. Looking for more investing ideas? Okay, don't care. Quick note. For a risk-on investor, I'm a risk-on investor. I like it. IoT grows, currently price evaluation. The IPO is worth consideration. Overview. Let's see how long this is. Let's watch this. Let's just take a look at vehicle telematics. This video's gone on long enough, but I figure, why not make it an hour? So let's take a look. Again, this is the research I would do anyway, and I'm just taking you along on the journey. So far, I like it. You know, some videos are 15, 20 minutes, you know, fine wines, fine wine things that came out last week, which is going to come out this week that you're going to see this video. But let's take a look at this real quick, see what's going on with vehicle telematics. This should give you more of an idea.
Samsara is great because we didn't just have to go to a multitude of different providers to receive ELD tracking, asset tracking. We were able to work through Samsara just as one single provider.
Before Samsara, most of the technology was lacking behind. It was, for example, providing location updates every half an hour. We were amazed by seeing Samsara with live tracking for our trailers and trucks. That definitely helped resolve some customer service issues to have that visibility.
Geofencing has helped us a lot. If we have a service-sensitive customer, we'll surround that customer location with a geofence, and then we'll do an update once the driver crosses that geofence. Having that real-time visibility in the system has really helped us take track and trace to the next level. Samsara is a great balance of value, simplicity, and flexibility.
When it comes to maintenance, we can do all the scheduling through Samsara. We know exactly what mileage the truck has, but it's right there in Samsara, and Samsara doesn't forget things. It notifies you right away.
What's different about the TLDR with Samsara is the use of a camera. And I love that because everything they want to know is in that picture. And on the TLDR, I can say there's something wrong with the tire, take a picture of it. no problem. And everybody at maintenance knows exactly what's going on.
If a vehicle's here in the shop, it's not a good thing. They need to be out on the road, working, helping the city. Samsara has allowed us to really be proactive on the maintenance. We've actually reduced our downtime 28% and reduced the number of vehicles in the shop by 24%.
Fuel efficiency reports that Samsara provides us help us coach the driver where he's lacking, where he can do better. Our fuel efficiency did go up by over 4.5%. That amounted to almost 200,000 gallons. That's almost like $500,000 in savings. And that's thanks to Samsara for giving us new features and tools.
Climate change is one of the issues that we're trying to tackle as a city. Bringing in hybrid and electric vehicles is part of our program. We've been able to save roughly 28,000 gallons of diesel and gasoline.
Having a Samsara as a consolidated platform helps us a lot in the decision-making process. It speeds it up so much more versus going and logging into different websites, collecting the data. And now we can do everything just in one platform.
With best-in-class location tracking, geofencing, advanced diagnostics, and fuel efficiency programs, vehicle telematics is one of many Samsara products, along with AI-powered site visibility for your facilities, video-based safety, equipment monitoring, and more. Samsara helps transform your business and increase the safety, efficiency, and sustainability of your operations.
You know what? That's actually that's a really good overview, and you know, I did escape during here and get a nice frosty beverage. Problem is, do I have a bottle opener? There we go. The last video I showed was all about a beer company, so I grabbed some not beer here. You know, not beer. The best advertiser-friendly beer. Not beer. You know, that gives you a great idea of what they're doing. Expenses, revenues. Oh, sorry, let me jump back to the browser. Sales and marketing. Again, they're growing that sales and marketing pretty dramatically. Market and competition. Financial performance, operating profit / loss. Again, we're looking at kind of a consolidated review. IPO details. No existing shareholders have indicated interest to purchase shares at the IPO price. So there will also be Class C shares. Float of outstanding shares. Plans to use the net proceeds. We looked at that filing. Valuation metrics. Market cap is going to be $10 billion at $10.7 billion at IPO, assuming that the price is there. Net margin minus 40%, operating margin minus 36%. Revenue growth rate is 74%. So that 74 we saw earlier was the revenue growth rate. IoT is looking to go public. Specified corporate expansion efforts, more sales and marketing people. Free cash flow was very high negative, and sales and marketing expenses have dropped substantially as the revenue has increased. Hey, look at that. So, market opportunity for fleet vehicle telematics, investors who seek fast-growing entrant in the vehicle telematics market. Although it's not cheap in terms of price for a risk-on investor, well, IoT grows would be a good thing. I want to show one more article. Again, I do like it. I'm not going to be able to order it right now because I don't have it available on any IPO platforms. But it's something, I'll give you where I want to go here. Samsara could become, now this is a unicorn, a decacorn. If you ever heard of the term a unicorn, that's a company that's worth $1 billion. Samsara could become a decacorn with the upcoming IoT-themed IPO. So decacorn is like a decade. It's $10 billion for this fleet tracking company, which has got not even $1 billion in yearly revenue. So, you know, this is TechCrunch. This is actually an article you have to sign in for to their main thing, but I'm not going to put the whole article. I will put a link to the article, but you do need to sign up. What's Samsara worth at $23 a share? A lot, it turns out, per the company's S1 filing. Samsara expects to have that many shares. It's going to be 10.1 billion to 11.6 billion. Slightly more generous with our share count. By the numbers. All right, so let's just see. So $23 a share is kind of their fully diluted. Yeah, I'll tell you where I'm at. By the numbers. They generated revenues. Yeah. Okay. So where am I here? we're 54 minutes in the video. Let me tell you where I am. I'm a buyer at about $22 on this stock. And I'm a buyer at $22. Let me open up the calculator. Because what I'm really trying to figure out is, you know, where I fall here. So I'm a buyer at $22. Let's say I wanted to buy $1,000. I want to put $1,000 in my bag of Samsara/IoT at $22. So I'm looking at about 45 shares is what I'm comfortable buying. Samsara would be a buy for me, assuming it's, you know, in the lower end of its range. I'm not going to pay 23. I don't think it's going to hit the top of its range because it's losing money. But if I were able to snag Samsara at 22 bucks, I would probably buy $1,000 worth to keep in my bag. Now remember, when companies first come out, if you are using margin, you do have to put up the full amount, so you can't margin a company right when it comes out. This also may be a good options play for like 2024 or somewhere like that, but you won't have those options that far out yet. You only have those options on the larger companies. Like I have a Ford 2024 option, a call option at $25 a share for 2024, which was like a $3 option when I bought it. So, you know, if it's over $28 to 2024, I'll make money right there. I like it. I don't love it. If you want to put a little IoT in your bag, which for me, $1,000 is a very small amount. I know your perception on $1,000 may differ, but in my bag, $1,000 is essentially a rounding error. It's unfortunate to say that, but I mean, that's what it is. So I'm going to load my bag with a little bit of Samsara IoT. This is Richard from No Pants Profits, still sitting here with no pants, and very nicely right now, a nice cold beverage, better than the water. It's that beer company IoT. Learning about the Internet of Things of beer companies made me very, very thirsty. So I played an interesting video, listened to it on the headphones the whole time, and went and grabbed a beer myself. So logistics of the refrigerator. Hopefully no one's got an air tag on my beer. This is Richard from No Pants Profits, reminding you that when you wear no pants, the last thing you got to lose is your shirt. Thanks for watching the Samsara IPO, and we got some others coming up soon. Bye!